Hey there, MRA, my Real Africanist. This is Marie Ya Jouf, the Real Africanist. I was just sitting here chilling this morning and I was just thinking, right? And I wanted to share something with you. I really missed Africa, right? I have not been to the continent in a few months now. Right, a few months, right? But it was in September. That was the last time that I was there, right? I was in Rwanda. And the more that I visit the continent, the shorter the time frame is, before I start to miss being there, because Africa is the truth, right? Africa just it does something to you. It really touches your soul, right? And life is just kind of strange because what I was thinking is that sometimes when I'm there, I encounter my African brothers and sisters, especially some of the young people, and they want to come to America, right? I mean, they love their country, but they want to come to America um, for opportunity and what they think is this quote unquote American dream, right? And then you have people like myself and others who, are itching to get to Africa for what we feel like are opportunities, right? And to live the African dream, right? And it's strange because that's the dichotomies of life. What you don't have, you want, and what you have. A lot of times, you want something else, right? So, but I was just thinking, doing what I'm doing, and I've been doing this a long time, like teaching and talking about Africa and, and African culture and African affairs, things like that. But you encounter different perspectives all the time, especially sometimes you encounter negative perspectives, or you come across people that have derogatory things to say, or what they mean as derogatory anyway, right? So you have people saying, well, if you love it so much, if you love Africa so much, then why aren't you there? When are you leaving? Why don't you go ahead and go back to Africa, right? And they just don't know, right? If they are paying, I'll be ready to go today. Because it takes a little change to go back and forth from the U.S. to Africa, and I've been uh, a number of times last year, so I had to slow down for a minute, right? But if you're going to cough up the dough, I'll go today. But anyway, I was just saying it's a shame, and it's quite humorous that people still believe that by saying things like go back to Africa, that they are insulting you, right? That's just how closed minded some people are. Because not only are people wanting to go back to Africa, people are going back to Africa in record numbers, right? I know, like I said, back in the day, um, sometimes black people or African American people did take offense at that. If somebody would tell them to go back to Africa, that was insulting, and that's because the only thing that we had to compare it to were, images of, like I say, this white guy named Tarzan who uh, lived in a jungle with his Karen, swinging from trees, annihilating all of the African warriors with, his bare hands, or, whenever he had to encounter his enemies in the jungle, African warriors just following him around, he's leading the pack, or then there's the other images of the poverty stricken young babies, the exploitive pictures of these babies with malnutrition and flies around their heads and their swollen bellies. All of these derogatory images. That people would use to play on people's sympathy or intelligence, right? And so, yes, of course, black people felt offended. A lot of times we felt offended, and of course, you live in a country rich with material things like America. You don't want to have any part of what you feel like is extreme poverty, right? However, there were Africans like me, or African American people like me, who never believed half of that foolishness, and who actually had empathy for the the babies that they were showing, and wish that in my heart and mind that I could help the situation in some way, right? I didn't feel inferior because of that at all, right? Um, Nevertheless, I was just saying that to say that Africa has a lot to offer, and I really wish that a lot of the young people in Africa could see that. I really love to work with young people, especially older teens and young adults, right? And I wish that they could see the opportunities that are available there. You really have to seek out opportunity. Opportunity is not just going to fall in your lap, right? You have to be innovative. You have to be creative. And most of all, you have to, believe in yourself and believe in your ability, and not let anybody uh, make you feel less than who you are, and what you are and what you are worth, right? Like I said, I'm not trying to minimize the situation, or even, you know, put the situation in in a box, and think that I know everything about what's happening in Africa. I do not know that. I've been on the continent, and I have spent a significant amount of time in different countries, right? But I know that I don't live there, and I know that's not my everyday reality. However, I do know that there are laws and principles to life that work for everybody, right? And so, um, one of my favorite sayings is that you don't start building a house the day that you want to move in it, right? So you have to start little by little, inch by inch, right? Because an inch is a cinch and a yard is hard, right? And so, again, I know it's difficult sometimes, and like I say, Africa has a lot of challenges, but in those challenges lie the opportunities, right? And when you understand, the root of those challenges, that's another area where you can really, really find the opportunities. Now, again, I'm talking to the younger people. I'm not talking to adults, because I know most adults have their mind made up about how they feel about everything, and they are going to think the way they want to think and do what they want to do, right? So, including myself, probably, most likely. However, if we say that we want a positive and progressive Africa, then we need people to stay there and build a positive and progressive Africa. Nobody is going to do that for us but ourselves, right? And if the young people continue to leave Africa in search for other opportunities everywhere else, then, who will we have left behind to build the Africa we want, right? And it's no coincidence that people come to Africa um, and build their fortunes, right? And take care of the countries and the homelands that they come from, right? So it's obvious that there is plenty of opportunity in Africa, right? And again, I don't want to go into this long spiel or anything like that. And like I say, or to position myself as if I think that, I just know it all, because I know every individual has a different circumstance, right? Um, Again, like I say, it's just a lot of opportunity in Africa. I think Africa is a beautiful place. It has so much to offer, right? It's the energy, it's the vibe, it's the people, the love, the that you feel. It's the, it's the support that you feel, when you're there, that you just really don't get in other places. I mean, it reminds me so much of how it used to be in many of the African American communities in, like I say, in the States, right? And how African American people used to vibe together, right? I mean, again, we still have some of that. We do still have some of that, but living under this European paradigm, or this Western paradigm, has really broken our families and have broken our communities and have stripped away some of those values that we held closely, and that kept our community strong and kept our families together, right? And so that's what I really uh, gravitate to when I'm in Africa, right? And that's why I love it there so much, and that's why I miss it there so much, right? And of course, again, the young people who I love so much, right? If it was not for my family that's here, um, I would definitely be living there, right? And I'm still considering that, right, as a place of residence, considering somewhere on the continent as a case. I mean, a place of residence, right? So I just wanted to share that with you, and to say that, I wish my African brothers and sisters all of the blessings and, you know, uh, positivity and progress in the world, you know, and I wish my African diasporan brothers and sisters all the progress and prosperity and peace in the world, right? If you are a member of the African diaspora, right, I urge you to go to, take a visit to the continent, right? Because, we can talk about it all day long, but until you have gone there, you really haven't experienced life, right? Because that's one thing about Africa. When you're there, you feel so alive, right? Um, so I just wanted to say that. And I just want to thank everybody who's been engaging with the channel since I've been on. I've been here since the 1st of February, and I have gotten a lot of, feedback, promising feedback, right? So thank you for that. I am Marie Ya Jouf of the Real Africanist. So you can find me here. You can also find me on my blog at therealafricanist.com. And you can also find me on Facebook at Marie Ya Jouf. That's MarieYaJouf, right? So if you get an opportunity, I would like you to check out my last two videos, right? They are talking, well, the title of those videos, or basically the topic of those videos, are basically that African leaders are not always responsible for everything that's going wrong in Africa. So I know you all probably have a lot to say about that. I'm looking forward to engaging with you about that, right? Leave some comments and tell me what you think, right? So remember to please like, share, comment, and subscribe. I have to remember to say that. I forget to say that sometime, right? So I can continue to grow my channel, and also hit the notification button so next time I put up a video, you will be the first to know. Okay? Happy Black History Month 2023. I can't forget that. And remember, you can't ban black. Bye-bye.